Hi, everybody. If you don't know me, I'm Mr. Mummy. I'm the teacher who organized the 2015 Summer Tech Crew video production class. Unfortunately, I had an unexpected family vacation on the first week of the program, so I'm sorry I can't be there with you. I'm sure you're going to have a good time, though. There is a lot to cover in the topic of filmmaking um, because it brings so many different pieces together to make a finished product. The first one is the concept of writing. Filmmaking really can't be separated from writing. You see, when you write, you might have one of three purposes in mind. You could be informing someone and giving them information, like a news article, or in video form, that could be a news television show or a documentary that you might see on National Geographic or to the Discovery Channel. You could be persuading, like in an article trying to convince people about a healthy activity that they should do, or in a film version, commercials. Commercials are trying to get you to spend your money, they're trying to persuade you. And the third purpose is to entertain. Uh, Reading a comic book, reading any story, any novel that we read just because we want to enjoy the story, or watching a sitcom show or watching a movie. Um, most of these things are made just to entertain us. So we have these three purposes that come from writing that exist in film. But then we also have the idea of the visuals, capturing motion and capturing color and light and the way that objects and people interact. And then we have the layers of sound that go into that, the vocalizations as well as music backgrounds, the environmental sounds of a room, the special effects that are applied, um, and then the editing that happens after we've captured the film to create sequence and create a nice clean cut from the video. There is so much that goes into this. Outside of the acting and the writing and storytelling stuff that you need to know, the basis of all filmmaking starts with a concept called the persistence of vision. Persistence means something that sticks around or carries on, like a persistent person will keep trying to do something. And vision, of course, is your sight. If you've ever waved a sparkler around at night and seen the trail of light that it leaves, that's actually the persistence of vision. It exists because in the time it takes for something to change in the real world, and the time it takes for our brain to process it from receiving the vision from our eyes, there's a little bit of lag. So we exploit that when we make films by taking a series of pictures of slightly changed images, like someone moving their hand, and we play them back at the same speed they were recorded so we can see the image again. So typically films are recorded in 24 frames per second. So if I want to take 1 second to wave my hand across, that would actually be 24 separate, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, little separate pictures that then just get played back at a high enough speed that you don't see the pause in between. Um, we're basically tricking the brain into seeing the action that would happen live in front of us when really we're looking at a series of still pictures. If you ever see something like a high-speed camera that takes thousands of pictures per second and then plays them back much slower, you can see things like a bullet traveling through a balloon or through a jar of water because of the nature of how many pictures it takes for that action to happen. So animation, instead of taking photographs with a video camera, in animation, you draw the picture, then you redraw the picture with a slight little change. And that's the idea behind a flip book, which was really an early form of entertainment before we had modern movies and films. People would actually buy these flip books and flip through many pictures. So I created a really simple one just as a demonstration. This is called the balloon. So the idea with a flip book is you just grab the bottom edge of the paper and this is hard to do on a camera, just kind of flip through the pages and create the illusion of motion. So as you can see, if I go slower, there's one picture of a person holding a balloon, and then they begin to open their mouth and move the balloon closer and take a breath, and eventually they have a full mouth, full mouth of breath, and they begin to blow up the balloon, and then it pops and blows away from them. So I also put these pictures in front of a camera and shot each one separately. And I'm going to play that back for you now so you can see what it looks like. And I also added a little bit of sound in. Aww. So look, I know I'm no great artist, but you don't have to be either to create a flip book. Just have fun with it. Pick a simple motion, a simple action like a character jumping or a snowball rolling down a hill and getting bigger, and draw that frame by frame, picture by picture, until you've created a complete motion. You know, it might take you 100 drawings or so, but that's okay because remember, when we watch a film, 24 frames per second, 100 pictures is only going to last about 4 seconds. So that's the persistence of vision. The idea that rapidly changing images can trick our brain into seeing a smooth motion. And that's what filmmaking and particularly what animation are all about. Have fun with your flipbooks. When they're finished, you might even be able to do what I did and take the pictures one by using a camera on a tripod, and you have to hold it very still because you don't want a shaky image, and then we can turn them into digital movies as well.